Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kaiserreich. So the reason why I am playing Kaiserreich rather than Fatherland is due to the fact that Fatherland is nowhere near as developed as of yet. And I don't think it's really fair to show something off when it's not quite fully finished, or at least not too deep yet. The thing is, I could have played as the Russian Empire, but they only have like 2 to 3, maybe 4 events, and it's incredibly, there's no real reward there, there's no like real path. Just makes things interesting. The Soviet Union 2.0, or like the continuation, the Soviet state, could be quite interesting, but I don't know, I'd kind of prefer to play something like Kaiserreich where there's more going on in the world than just the German Reich in Europe. So, we do have a victorious German Empire, a monarchist German Empire, and we do have the Russian Republic in its current state at the moment. Now, the path I'm going to choose with the Russian Empire, well, with the Russian Republic, you guys will see shortly. It's something I've never done before, something I've never actually tried before, or even attempted before, so it'd be something interesting to see. Now, there's 2 possibilities that you guys might be thinking of, and the other one will be explored in the future. I'll guarantee that one. So we'll get on with it then. Now, I do want interceptors. We do need a decent air force. I always tend to have a fairly meh air force, something that's not very well balanced, and I'd like to have a balanced air force this time around. So tacticals and interceptors in equal numbers, or more interceptors, I should say. Okay, now industrial. Lovely. Right then, so we need to redeploy the army. We'll do this in phases, actually. I mean, here alone is 87 divisions. So start things off. Now, 1936 is a dark time for Russia. It's a dark time for Kerensky's Russia. The recent decision of the German Empire to push forward payment of the reparations agreed upon in the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk forced Russia to enact drastically reduced budget for an armed forces and existing social system. Such financial austerity, even if needed, combined with stagnation of the economy, has brought ire of the nation and pushed the country to the verge of general unrest. With the government barely controlling the streets of Moscow and St. Petersburg, let alone the rest of the country, things are looking bad for Russia. However, unseen forces are waiting in the wings to make their move. Okay, the Russian Constitution of 1918. So the nation's government is broken into 3 branches. You have the legislative branch, you have the executive branch, and the Duma. So we go forward. Now then. Hawk Lobby could be quite decent. I need something to reduce the amount of dissent in the nation. So if we go towards open society, it does actually increase the dissent growth. That may have been a bad thing to do, actually. Ah well. We'll make do. We won't be in this state for long, I can guarantee that one. So what we need to do then is we need to have 3 divisions on the go at all times. We'll give them artillery. Oh, then again, I'll just make it cheaper. At 14.7, that's decent enough. I'll just have them on the go at throughout the entirety of our time. And we'll be okay. Okay, austerity measures. Increase the dissent, but gives us the cash to pay the reparations. Now, we are going to hold on to our cash. So stockpile it. Right, the assassination of Kerensky. The sound of gunfire rings across the capital. Alexander Kerensky, the president of the Russian Republic, was shot and killed by an assassin while he was climbing the steps of the Senate House. His killer was shot dead by the military police before he could make his escape. His motives will forever be unknown. Regardless, the fate of Russia has been irrevocably changed, for better or for worse. A shot that will ring across the world. Without doubt. The aftermath of the assassination of Kerensky. The assassination of our long-term president, Alexander Kerensky, has thrown the country into chaos. With the president gone, the governing coalition of the cadets and the right social revolutionaries has collapsed, and 4 forces look ready to seize control of the broken nation. The left SR, social revolutionaries, and Mensheviks secure a majority in the Duma. Here we go. The Alash Autonomy region declares independence. So we have lost our puppet over here. Bukharin hails totalism as a way forward. The Bolshevik politician Nikolai Bukharin has praised his comrades overseas for their adoption of the Bolshevik doctrine into the new and rapidly gaining support system of the totalitarian socialism, or totalism. Totalism combines Bolshevik ideas of state-controlled economies, economics with broader ideas about the total involvement of the state in the running of the country, and perceived by many to be a highly potent and dangerous force. Interesting to say the very least. Okay, all forces have been deployed in this area. Appointed a Prime Minister. The Social Revolutionaries and Menshevik coalition outmaneuvered all of its rivals in the January crisis and has gained an unshakable Duma majority. Following the submission of the Gets, Chernov, chief ideologue of the Social Revolutionaries, has been successful in pulling the strings, but it is now the time to appoint a Prime Minister. So I could stay with the good Mensheviks, I could compromise, but at extreme times like this we need to shut up Bolshevism. Nikolai Bukharin. And there we go. So we have Nikolai Bukharin in power here. We will rearrange our ministers soon enough. But for now, they'll remain as they are. Most because I don't want any more dissent at this moment. Okay, so we're going to go for some mass reorganization here of the military. We need to be able to secure the border, and then we'll redeploy all the Asiatic forces and reorganize. But protecting the European border is the most important. That's where the vast majority of the threat is going to come from. That and Mongolia and Japan. We need to pursue a policy of weakening Japan's influence in Asia, which is going to be hard to do considering their proximity and their control over Manchuria. The Chinese are going to be a special case. We have the AOG to the south, which is the German-controlled part of China. Which is fairly powerful. Falls all too often, though, to the Republic of China, so we'll have to see what may happen. Would love to see... I don't know, would I like to see a free China? Perhaps. It would depend, really. I mean, I would rather have it under my control. We'll have to see what presents itself in forms of opportunities. And we must also reclaim our lost lands, and expand Russia to its natural borders. aka the Atlantic. Okay. Fuck. A little bit of lag here from moving so many units at once. We do have the Finns over here. Right, protect Petrograd. Now to the Baltic. White Ruthenia. Ukraine. A lot of industry in the Ukraine and resources. I would like to reclaim that. The Cossacks. Central Asia. Okay. Now to redeploy the rest. Well, actually, we'll have them redeployed over here to Tomsk. And there we go. So the moment dissent is rather high. We have a general strike, which does not help things. Worker organizations all over Russia have reached an agreement to decide to call for a general strike. That does not help me right now. Okay. Keep reinforcement going. Rebellion. The Prime Minister addresses the Duma, negotiating with the strikes. So could reach a complete agreement, which I may perhaps do. Yes, we'll reach a complete agreement here. We can't afford it at a time like this to have revolution all over the nation once more. Okay, payment of the Brest-Litovsk Treaty. See, I mean, if we'd have left it, would have been still quite bad. The factories have returned to work. That's good, at least for now. So yes, dissent is still high. But soon we'll be able to cope with it. Okay. You can see the sheer amount of events going on in the wider world is incredible. Again, more rebellion. Okay, the seat of capital. We shall move it to Moscow, to the people's capital. Mainly for the reason that it is much easier to defend than Petrograd. I mean, Petrograd is a good place, but it's on the coastline, therefore it can fall quite easily. Right. Actually, they should all be deployed right now. I do also need to research motorized divisions, so I can get some speed into the Russian army. Whilst we remain a republic, we'll have to play like one. So that means that, well, the idea of only protecting our own borders and not expansion. There we go. For the moment, Mongolia will be the immediate threat. And even then, not enough troops to cover Mongolia. So we do need more troops. Okay, Black Monday hits the Russian Empire. Russian Republic. Sorry, I'm just so used to referring to it as the Russian Empire. Okay. So almost 3 weeks ago, the Berlin Stock Exchange plunged into a bottomless depth, throwing the German economy into an unprecedented crisis. Now the crisis shockwaves have reached Russia. German and Bohemian-owned companies have closed down or laid off workers. The Russian ruble is losing value, and resource exports are shrinking. Here we are. Right, Stavka. Have the cavalry deal with the rebellions. Can't allow disorder to overtake the nation at this time. Yeah, the sheer amount of events here. That's why I've decided on Kaiserreich. Right, manufacturing support systems. Okay. Extending power. After the end of the Russian Civil War, Kerensky's government had to accept the so-called redistribution of land, which led to the enlargement of land possessions of the Russian peasants. Unfortunately, the former government didn't continue the land reforms, in part because of the unstable situation in the country and the fact that the poor harvest made the issue of land distribution even more complicated. However, the incumbent cabinet had to solidify its influence throughout Russia, and the most obvious way would be to solve the issue of land reform. Through general restructure of the civilian administration, there are different ways to solve this. We could rely on the current autonomous village communes, which consist of the peasants, or reach a new agreement with old local elites of the Zemsta. Alternatively, we could create a completely new bureaucratic system, keep both groups in check, whilst enforcing the strength of central government. Ouch. That's pretty brutal. So that would push us towards a drafted army. We'll rule from the centre, which does push dissent massively. And here we go, revolution. The Bolshevik workers are demanding a return to the proletarian dictatorship. The peasants are seizing land from the state, and the international is heard once more on the streets of the capital. The Karen believes that we could use this situation to end the political crisis and establish a new political system in Russia. So we can invite him into the government. And we shall. Okay, computing. There we go. What I will do with these. Okay, the Third International. It wouldn't be the Third International without us. We shall attend. Mechanized agriculture. Perfect. We need to make good on our promises here. To restore the rights of the worker and of the people. The good thing is that did lower the amount of dissent in the nation quite nicely. $1935. Right, work on motorized. Maxim Gorky. Okay, hold on to supplies for the moment too. Or at least put some more into it. Tactical bomber. Right, air doctrine. Oh, it's a good thing to have, really. Okay. So we will still be experiencing revolutions. But the vast majority of the nation is under control. More or less, anyway. The hinterlands and the heartland is really where the revolution rises. So we'll try and keep things under control. Right, Mongolia grows. Okay, reforming the navy. It is true, carriers are the way of the future. I do love battleships, but it's just one of those things. Carriers are just too damn good. And the way it works is it's very, very difficult to destroy a carrier with battleships. Ba-da-da-da. Creator requests aid. Yes. Full support and aid shall be given. Okay. Let's deploy this somewhere. There we go, new infantry. Awesome. I hate when they're behind. Right, what we'll do then is we'll wait for that one to finish off, and then that'll be it. We'll start with a new technology as well. 1936 infantry. Youth organization, sweet. Reorganization of the internal police. We shall reintroduce the Okhrana. Okay. Won't be long now. Lovely. So we'll start with 1956 infantry. Now, once we do have... Actually, we could do with some HQ too. Would be very handy to have. It's just the bonuses that it gives are really good. Plus it allows us to attack in greater numbers. And it seems the American Civil War has kicked off. So the Second American Civil War has kicked off. It will be interesting to see who wins. Now, we do have the ability to support them. Which we shall. We'll support the CSA. The CSA needs to connect up their borders properly. I mean, if they can surround and take Washington, they'll have some legitimacy. Right, New England has broken free. National France has declared war on Liberia, which is rather interesting, actually. Okay. Transport is something I'd like to pursue as well. I'd like to be able to use airborne troops. There we go. Ah, the PSA has declared war. Yep, so the PSA has Japanese volunteers from, well, Japan. Alright, so we need less descent to reform the army. The PSA is growing there. Ideally, the PSA does not make peace until they actually secure their proper peace treaty, the Treaty of Sacramento. It will help the other powers. Bam, ba bam, ba bam. There we go, there goes Liberia. Naval Reorganization. We shall launch a grand reorganization. Uses a lot of supplies. Right, issue currency. Also has a nice bonus of reducing descent. I could do that to increase our morale. We'll do that in the future when we can get rid of it. Jesus, the PSA is actually really kicking ass. There we go, that is the Treaty of Sacramento. Yep, Treaty of Sacramento. So they are independent. Intriguing. Sweden has declared war upon Norway. That's not something you see very often, so we have a national populist government here. Who will win out? I don't know. Indonesia. So the Netherlands has gone totalist. Interesting. Right, here we go. With Kerensky's assassination, dissolution of the Social Revolutionary Cadet Coalition, a great reshuffling of the Russian political scene has taken place. The most visible result of the process was the creation of a so-called New Bolshevik Bloc, a conglomerate of the Civil War survivors, radical former Mensheviks and social revolutionary members, as well as fresh syndicalist blood. It's very possible that this bloc will take part in the nearest Duma elections, should the situation finally stabilise. That's not good for Sweden. Okay. Yep. Going to need that. We will support Korea if we can. Okay. Send aid to the Koreans. I doubt they'll be able to last, which is a shame, but if it helps them, then it's worthwhile. Okay, the beginning of the Spotcade. A patriotic ceremony. Sure, we'll grant additional help. That should allow us to reform the army too. Right, Austria has declared war upon Montenegro. What do we need here to reform the army? We just need some more supplies. So are we still stockpiling? Yeah, we need to stockpile. What we'll do then is... Right, we are focused on supplies at the moment. That's good news. Okay. Lots of things just finished off right there. 1938 plant oil. Well, oil plant, I should say. Air doctrine. Battlefield interdiction. There we go. And we will also start researching airborne infantry. I like them. They're going to be very useful. So what we can do now is we can put some motorized into production. I mean, they are very costly. But it is worthwhile. Right. Italy has declared war upon Austria. That's rather interesting. Wow, German Empire went with support Hungary in the Civil War. Wow. Holy shit. Yup. Austria is in fact screwed. More than likely, anyway. Enter the spot gate. Romania has declared war upon Hungary. Jesus, this is definitely a battleground now. Serbia declared war upon Bosnia, therefore upon Austria. Yeah. As there's peace between Austria and Bohemia. Right, so there's peace between... Right, okay. That's interesting. Hungary accepted peace with Austria on the following terms. Austria went with those damn Hungarians. So at least Austria can somewhat focus on Italy now. Poland's annexed Galicia. Austria accepts peace with the Polish. I mean, they are making the moves to succeed. And they do need to deal with the Italians. Okay, investing in the future. Right. I mean, that is worthwhile to increase transport capacity. But for the moment, we'll bring down descent. Okay, descent is good. Right, initial stabilization. Okay. Youth organization. Let's see. Since though nothing has been produced as of yet, we'll just turn this off for now. And I need more supplies so we can reform the army. Our system deserves to be extended. I could go for isolationism. Right, we'll go with that though. Base encryption. Base decryption would be good. Lovely jubbly. Okay, we shall reform the army. And Sweden has annexed Norway. I didn't think they'd be able to do it when they had those forces cut off. So Deniken set up a mass construct army to overwhelm the enemy. Wrangel. We'll go with Markov. And the armored doctrine. Right, we must secure the Caucasus. Okay. We secure the entire Caucasus. Okay, the German Empire has threatened us. The German Kaiser has made it clear that the Empire would fully support the independence of the Caucasian nations if any other nation tries to interfere. It would be most unwise to underestimate them, despite the troubles they are facing on the home front. And we'll focus on Central Asia for the moment. Can't deal with that right now. Okay. We must secure Central Asia.